So this is our first ever live preview. We're very happy to be here. I'd like to thank Taylor Fort for coming. He's a true professional. Speaking of true professionals, we'd like to thank Dustin Ehrman for running through these with me. He's going to give you a little bit of color about each pig after I go through the pedigree and the sow info and things like that. We are going to sell 113 lots, and that includes half a dozen from DLG Genetics. That's Dane Logan here in Asheville, Ohio. He'll be here Saturday. We're not. He's couldn't bring his today, but we will. He will be here on Saturday morning. We have two very large points about the sale that are new. It is at a new time and a new location. It's at 11 a.m., not 12:30. Kevin Went has to be in Indianapolis there by 4 or 5 p.m. And the other big thing, it is at a new location. It is 5036 Fairview Road, Washington Courthouse. It's where we moved to, right here at the farm. So Kevin will be auctioneering. Kevin Went, and it will be our first experience with CCILive.com, and we're looking forward to it. So we're going to move into the first two lots. We'll do two at a time. Lot number one is 33-3. He's the wild-looking narrow-belted barrow. He is he's a Believe in Me provoked on the OYE gilt. So his grandmother is Ollie. That's the Grand Commercial Guild at the Oklahoma Youth Expo in 2019. She was also Pig Planet Breeding Guild of the Year in 19. Really a big fan of that one.
Yeah, I can see why, Nate, a really, really cool bear. Before we get started here, this is what, the 44th annual running of the Blue Ribbon Pig Sale?
Absolutely.
So just a little history lesson there. Obviously, Nate took the torch from the late, great Freddie Hoppus, and a near and dear friend to both Nate and I, and really helped both of us sort of get started here in the industry. And what a great tradition and a great honor to Freddie's legacy that Nate and his family have carried on here. Looking forward to a great set of pigs here, and I think that lot one obviously starts us off in a grand fashion. Obviously, you talk about his pedigree, and not much needs to be said about that pedigree, as Nate sort of explained. And I think that when you look at that barrow and what he really design and type and look, especially his elevation, he's really square off of both ends of his skeleton. Again, a really, really top end kind of a barrow or male hog here. Again, I'd say a wide feeding window. Again, I think one that if you're in a Midwest state fair setting, he ought to be on your number one lot as well. Nice kind of a barrow.
Okay, lot number two is 45-3. He's another boar pig. He is a no intro. That's the blue barrow there in the middle. He's a no intro provoked. The provoked sow is a littermate sister to the High Points barrow on the Northwest Oklahoma circuit there 2 years ago. That happened to be, we were pretty excited about that barrow, but that happened to be the year that they canceled OYE. So littermate sister to a really good barrow there 2 years ago. I think another pretty stout kind of barrow.
Absolutely. Yeah, again, I think one that's ready to go show right now. And again, if you're in a setting where they split those lights against the darks, I think a really, really high-end type kind of a white cross that, again, you talk about one that's really opened up and square off of both ends of his skeleton, but still has a really unique look and from his blade forward. And again, is that cool color marking. And again, one that if you're ready to go showing on week one in the Jackpot Series, he's ready to rip and roar right now. Again, as Nate said, a really, really high quality light cross barrow there. Good.
So you do stop. Okay, the narrowbelt boar pig there is 28-7. That happens to be a Saved by Grace directly out of the Grand Guild OYE in 19. Ollie, the Breeding Guild of the Year, Pig Planet. That's just the small one. We sold his brother was our top selling barrow there in the last online sale last week. That's just kind of the green one that I think could, end result. Front leg's huge, back leg's big. End result could be pretty high.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the Saved by Grace pigs across the country have been really, really high quality. And I think this guy exemplifies that quality that boar is sort of stamped here out of the gate. Again, you talk about one that's, short back, the right kind of length of body, as Nate mentioned, huge feet. Really stout in terms of his feature, and just again got the right kind of market hog length of body that again I think has a really long and wide feeding window. That's one to me looks like again, if you even need to push in to early fall, I think can do that and do it extremely well. Really high quality stout featured barrel that's got the right kind of length of body.
The little less cooperative gilt is 21-6 lot 4. The 21s are Disciple, Provoked, Dirty Secret. The mother of the Disciples happens to be one we call Barb. That is a Heimer derived gilt that we bought as a baby pig 2 years ago for my kids. She's probably the biggest legged animal on the place. Kind of my friends and people around here, they kind of all know who Barb is. So we're selling most of her gilts today.
Yeah, another, again, very unique opportunity to really tap into not only Nate's sow base, but also going back to the Heimer deal. And again, Disciple out of SGI has had a nice run here in terms of the quality of his pigs initially early on. Again, looking at this painted up gilt, a gilt that to me looks like is a real dual purpose gilt. Again, could show in the market setting, but also has some real quality in terms of her breeding characteristics. And again, if you look at her pedigree, I think you could get excited about that one. Is show her all summer, have some fun with her, and stick her back in your sow herd just from a type and kind and pedigree standpoint.
Could have got a little bit cleaner there, Logan, but thank you. Lot 5 is 28-1, another 28 gilt out of Barb, a Disciple. Like I said, Disciple, Provoked, Dirty Secret. She's definitely one of the unicorns of the group, no doubt about it.
Yeah, absolutely. She come into the pen here, and I looked at Nate and went, "Oh wow!" Again, you talk about one that is really starting at the ground, just giant in terms of her foot size, and has that stoutness of feature and bone, and really through her entire skeleton. You look at her skull and her tail root. Again, you talk about one that can go early here, have a ton of fun. One that, again, if that one is, if you're looking to add sows back into your sow herd, and one that can generate the next boar or great barrow, boy, if that one can't do it, I don't know which one could. Really high end, high quality gilt with a just an equal to top notch pedigree.
Lot 6 is 44-1, Hampshire Belted Male. That happens to be a no introduction out of Jada. Jada is the mother of the OYE gilt that wins the commercial gilts in 2019, Breeding Guild of the Year. So no intro, see my point, Fortune. Probably one of my favorite state fair barrows there for sure.
Yeah, and we talk about pedigrees, that See My Point, Fortune, Main Motion stuff. That goes back to some of Nate's really good sow stuff. That, again, is just to continue to produce champions for him and his customers year after year after year. And I think this male pig, again, exemplifies that kind of quality and depth in terms of his look and his design. Again, really sound and functional off of both ends of his skeleton, the right kind of length of body, really immature in terms of from his blade forward in terms of his look. Again, I think one that has a tremendous high ceiling, and as Nate mentioned, if you're in the business for a August timetable, that guy ought to feed really well.
the mother of the 44s, she's getting older, but there's no doubt about it, she rarely has one that doesn't feed. So I'd say it'd be a very good choice. So 44-2 is the little green barra. That's another 44, no intro, out of the mother of the OYE gilt. Just like we said, that sow, they pretty well always feed, and I think that's a pretty good testament of what she could do.
Yeah, again, probably the smaller, greener one of the bunch, but while you look at all the readers that you look at in terms of what he has to offer here in terms of his type and kind, and again, I think a very, very good male pig that has a really high ceiling, and again, one that I think, you know, even if you're into a early fall setting, this guy would definitely fit the bill there, and again, really, really high quality.
So lot 8 is a gilt. She's 42-1. She's a Saved by Grace. Her mother is a pony up sow that would be just her. She had a summer litter that's done well. The 90 litter barrows were my 2 leadoffs this fall there at Holy Smoke out of her. That was her first litter. She is the pony up sow, is a blue sow that was actually a reserve gilt at my county a couple years ago. Just kind of as good looking a sow as you could have, pretty as a picture, does a good job. 42-1's pretty damn nice gilt.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I think, you know, both of these pigs, and especially her, really, you know, exemplified Nate's program. That's what those hogs typically look like. Again, built good at the ground, the right kind of length of body, tremendous amount of look, but stout in terms of their feature. Just a really, really good gilt here that, again, has a high ceiling in either a market or breeding setting.
So lot number 9 is 15-6, another male pig. He is a next intention. JoJo Kiss My Socks. His grandmother actually was she was a Heimer sow, and she was Kiss My Socks 1065. She raised the Grand Weanling at Fall Classic 19. The mother's sister actually won the gilts at 2 of those fall shows in Ohio the fall before. It's from a state fair bear standpoint or anything in July and early August. I mean, that one's probably one of the stouter ones we brought out, and color patterns just a match.
Yeah, obviously, Next has done a great job in the first 2 crops that he's put on the ground here, and I think you know, that calico male pig exemplifies that quality again in terms of, as Nate mentioned, his stoutness of feature. Again, this barrow really bold in terms of his rib cage, but is again still has enough look in terms of from his blade forward and his elevation. Again, what I would call a real easy feeding kind of a barrow that you can kind of go home and go slow and do what you need to do and get him into the window that suits you.
Lot 10 is 33-1. She's a Believe in Me provoked Ollie. Her grandmother won the gilts at OYE, and I didn't mention it before, but there's a pair of those provoked sows out of Ollie, and that was in her second litter. And to be honest, both these litters were those sows first litters. The other one had necks. We sold really well in the first sale there. Robert's got one at his place. But I think as far as young sows, those are by far two of the most impressive I have.
Yeah, I think, again, not to get too wound up in the pedigrees, but obviously Provoked was a boar that Nate bred here, and again has really stood the test of time, and as I would argue as the dirty stuff goes, is probably as consistent and put as many winners in the winner's circle as any of the Dirty Sons, and again is stamped and put a bunch of really high quality sows back into Nate's herd, and I think again this gilt sort of exemplifies that pedigree. Again, it's one that's really boxy, stout in terms of her feature. Again, one that I think has some real value past their show date in terms of her quality. Another super high quality, believe in me, gilt.
So lot 11 is 37-3. He is a next intention. Rule 21, main motion. The main motion sow is the foundation sow. If it's not something that derived from Heimers that's here, they pretty well all go back to her. So the rule sow would be a sister to Des Reed's gilt a couple years ago that we always like to talk about. Just green built, good built, the right kind of bear to feed.
Yeah, again, I think Rule 21 is a boar that probably didn't get used as heavy, maybe as some, but obviously has done some really good things for some folks, and including Nate. And actually, I bought a Rule 21 gilt out of Nate's sale here a couple years ago that's generated extremely well for us. But you look at this guy, and to me, that's a really high quality individual in terms of just his look and his build, his silhouette from the side. Again, a guy that looks like has a tremendous open feeding window. Again, I think his better days are ahead of him as he continues to mature, but I read his maturity as being just 12 o'clock dead on. Really high quality male there.
Lot 12 is 41-4, Boar Pig. He is a no introduction, Provoked. That Provoked sow is actually, she's a Provoked Rule 21 main motion, just kind of the next generation past the 11's mother, be a littermate sister, be the grandma. So the 41's mother was Trent Inman's Tulsa gilt there 2 years ago. She was 10th out, and we kind of thought that was just one of the better ones we'd fed, and kind of come up a little lame show day, but still a really good gilt and been a heck of a good sow. Her next gilts are in Texas right now, doing a real good job.
Yeah, this 12 lot 12 male pig is a little more moderate in terms of his type and kind versus the male pig we just looked at. But again, from a quality standpoint, a density, stoutness of feature, still look from the side. Again, if you like them to go slow and feed them into your window, I think that guy fits that bill extremely well. Really nice kind of a hog.
Okay, lot 15, I'm sorry, 13 is 32-2. He is a Crip. 32-2 happens to be a saved Instigate Fortune. So grandmother's the same, shares the same grandmother as the OYE Gilt. The mother is, it's only her second litter, but probably as promising young sow as I had after her first litter. She had my 83 litter backdrops this summer. Probably my highest grossing litter, one of my favorite litters. Two different barrows in Texas have won several of those little jackpots all over Texas. Just as far as I can, probably the best thing I can say about 32-2 is just from a stoutness standpoint, and the guys that are judging our state fair this year, I think you're going to have to be stout and big back and short backed all over, and that one kind of exemplifies all those things.
Yeah, I was going to tease you. We maybe need to have Mr. Danner here help us with the sale order. I think we could make the argument to make that guy lead off. He's wow. All I can tell you is if you're serious about winning a big one in August, I would argue that that this guy has each and every part that it takes to do that, and he will be available, and he is for sale on Saturday. That's all I need to say.
So lot 14 is actually a scratch, and I will make a disclaimer that is not the one I'm keeping for my kid or anything like that. We just, in order not to mess up the whole numbering system through the tags, I actually accidentally skipped 14, and I just left it in there so I wouldn't have to redo the whole thing. So we'll move on to lot 15. And lot 15's out here, 32-11, another male pig. He's a saved mate to lot 13. Just another stouty out of that Instigate Fortune sow.
Yeah, he again, much like like we talked about the one prior. Again, just short backed, but it's still extended and good looking from the side. Stout in terms of his feature, square, going away from you. Another again, really high quality individual that again out of a strong litter.
Lot 16 is 35-5. That's a gilt out of Sure Thing, the boar pig at Keplinger's that Calico pig he bought last summer for quite a bit. Mother is a Provoked Fortune. So that's a young sow. She had a summer litter, but don't really have a good fancy story on her other than she's darn nice and shares the same grandmother as the OYE Gilt. So another Provoked Fortune.
Yeah, that Sure Thing board that Keplinger and AJ bought, Stay Classy Son, that again, really high quality. Probably didn't see the number of sows. Well, we had a couple litters out of him. That again, I think this gilt represents really high quality, super dual purpose gilt. Again, that showing the market, showing the breeding. Again, one that's ready to go here. Week one of the jackpot, and again, just her femininity from her blade forward and that extra look, but still stout and big backed. Really high quality gilt.
So this is a pig that's not in the sale. We just kind of wanted to show him off because we are selling all the other Littermate brothers and several of the gilts. So this is 34.5. He is our boar prospect for the summer. You know, one of just a few of them, but I really just thought we should probably show him off since we're gonna. I think a couple of his brothers are kind of they're on the little smaller end of that. He's just kind of the big oddity of the bunch, but there's several of the little brothers that I think are really, really good. And I thought we'd just kind of bring him out here for just a second because I don't normally have the photography expertise like Taylor does. So while he's here, we're just going to kind of take a little video. I could tell you his pedigree. Sorry, he's a no intro. Believe in me. So his mother would be her first litter. She would be a littermate sister that Grand Barrowed OYE this spring.
Well, I'd say that's a pretty action-packed pedigree, and obviously as he comes out here, his type and kind and quality would exemplify that pedigree as well. So stay tuned. Is that the fair thing to say, Nate? Stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll bring a few of his mates are selling next, so we'll bring them 17, 18 out. So here are two more 34 litters mate to the boar pig we just showed you. This is 34.6 and 30. Actually, that right here, the one we're on right now is 34.6. He is lot 17. He does not have a tag. As you can see, his right ear there is hanging a little bit. I cut it out last night. Kind of my disclaimer with him is he's definitely one of my favorite small barrows for, kind of state fair deal. But he did not feel the best last night at all. I really kind of thought we'd leave him out of this, but he perked up this morning, and I think by Saturday he'll be back in his show mode. So, but he does not have a tag. That's lot 17, 34.6.
Yeah, as we ran the boar pig prospect that Nate's going to feed a while here, I think this guy, just take 20 pounds, and that's probably what that boar prospect looked like in terms of his build, his look, his design. Again, I'd argue if you want one from his blade forward in terms of his look and his design, and really clean about his jawline, but again, still got some true muscle shape coming and going away. That's going to be really, really cool, and one I think you get bought on Saturday. In 30 days from sale, you'll be like, wow, I stole that one from Nate.
So 17's brother is lot 18, 34.7. He is the all black bear in the litter. Another no intro, Believe in Me. They are the Believe in Me sow is a littermate sister to the Grand Barrowed OYE.
Yeah, and he's a little different than the two belted brothers. That guy is a little shorter in terms of his length of body. I'd tell you today, I think he's a little stouter and bigger legged than his brothers, but still got that extremely good look. Again, I think this one has got a really, really high ceiling. Yeah, I know he's all black, but when you get past that, I can get really, really excited about that one in a market hog setting. His proportions, everything fits together. That's really, really nice, Nate.
Blake Danner's over here, and he just said that he's bringing black back. So So lot 19 is 34.9. Another no intro. Believe in me, mom's littermate sister to the Grand Barrett OYE. 34.9 would be, he's kind of the shaggy, dense one that's still wild looking, probably the shaggiest of the bunch. Doesn't look to be tremendously cooperative at the moment, but a dang nice barrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think his proportions read correct in terms of market hog length of body. Again, like you said, super stout featured, good looking from the side, you know, really square backed. Another really high quality one out of that litter for sure.
So lot 20 is 47.3. The 47s are, that is a gilt. The 47s are like no others. Like no others, and the mother would be she is a Gorilla Dirty Secret. Happens to be, she's 25.6, and she actually was my top seller in my spring sale COVID year, and this is actually her first litter, so don't have a real good story about her other than she was awfully good. So 47.3.
Yeah, from a pedigree standpoint, a little different, a little more, I guess I'd call outcross to Nate's stuff in general terms. But again, a gilt that really has some quality pieces about her in terms of just really busted open on both ends of her skeleton, really moderate in terms of her build, giant rear leg, but one that can flex and use it, still has some look from the side. Again, I think if you're in a market hog setting, there's one there that's awfully cool.
Lot 21 is 48-3. He is a barrow. He is cut. So the 48s are Godfather's Dirty Secret Fortunes. So their grandmothers, they would share the same grandmother as the OYE gilt. There's several barrows in this litter that are awfully good. The right kind of green, the right kind of build.
Yeah, again, time-tested pedigree on the bottom side of this one's on the mother side. Again, going back to that old fortune stuff that's done such a great job here consistently year after year for Nate. Again, I think this barrel, again, his proportions are right, his look is right, his maturity's right. Again, I think one that isn't maybe as bloomy for us here today, but you read all his proportions and the way this guy's built and his maturity pattern. This one would be high on my list for sure.
Lot 22 is 48-6 Barrow, the Calico. He is a mate, another Godfather, Dirty Secret Fortune. Just a great built barrow. He actually has a couple of Calico sisters marked just like him later on down the sale. They're pretty wild themselves.
Yeah, I think type and kind, you can, again, consistency in a litter is sometimes a rarity in this crossbred thing. And I think, obviously he, other than his color pattern, I think his type, his kind, his maturity, his proportions, much similar to the belted one. If you like feeding those crazy wild color ones and want to stand out from the crowd, not only will you do that from a color standpoint, but also from a quality standpoint. Two really high quality littermate brothers.
So 22-10 lot is lot 23. 22-10 male pig. He is a provoked. Mother's a never before. Best man. The actually happens to be, I purchased the never before sow from Heimers. There was a baby pig 2 years ago. The reason I did was his mom raised the Grand Heavy at Denver there 2 years back. Would also be Neighbor Boy's mom. Would be Wags' littermate sister. Just this one, in my opinion, is probably one of by far the stoutest pigs we put in the sale overall. I mean, he just kind of stout and still can handle it all and sound as he can be.
Yeah, that's for sure. In terms of just looking at him from the tip of his nose back to his ears, in terms of his stoutness, in terms of his skull, but still clean about his jaw. Really, really big feet, stout in terms of his bone work. One that, again, you get up on top of him is a little more mature versus some of those that we've seen. And again, one I think you can show every weekend and ride him into whatever window fits your calendar. But really, really high quality, and like Nate said, can really flex and go for as much stoutness that he has here today.
Lot 24 is 32-6. He is a crip. He is a Saved by Grace Instigate Fortune. He happens to be so he's a littermate brother to the two real stout bears there a few pins ago that we like real well. He's just kind of the wild looking cool one of the bunch.
Yeah, he has more elevation, more extension, and just more look, and is a little, plainer in terms of his muscle here today. But obviously, when you get a good look at him and read him here, all indicators would say that this guy will stouten up as he continues to mature. Just again, a little plainer and greener in terms of his design and build today, but. Again, you get that guy off to the side. What's not to like about him? Really, really high quality.
So lot 25 is 3210 at Gilt, another 32. We are going to sell several 32-liter Gilts. So like we said a couple other times, Saved, Instigate, Fortune. Mommy's first backdrop litter did a heck of a job. And that one's just pretty flat good. I think there's a lot of upside on that at the end of the day, no doubt about it.
Yeah, a really, really high quality gilt with an even more high quality pedigree. And again, if you followed Nate's program and the number of winners that he's put in from north to south and east to west, and you're looking to tap into some sow power, this particular gilt on the bottom side of her pedigree is rich on both the Instigate side and then we talked about that Fortune line, but Instigate was aboard there at SGI that probably didn't get the fanfare that Provoke did, but when he got put in sows, some pigs that went out and did some winning. And again, this is a really, really high quality gilt that's ready to go show today. And like I said, if you're looking for sows, here's one that will take your program to the next level.
And Instigate was a Provoked on the mother of the Grandbird OYE's out. That was in her first litter there a few years ago. So now lot 26 is 21-7. That's a little boar pig out of Disciple. That's kind of the small, skinny green one out of Barb. We offered you there in the first couple pins, two of the stouter Gilts, and that's just kind of the wild little male.
Yeah, wild is a good description, Nate. Again, this guy is just super striking from the side. Length of body, his proportions are right. Again, one that's really, really immature yet today. But again, all of his indicators in terms of his stoutness, his foot size, just his tail root, his skull, but still clean about his jaw. This guy has a really, really high ceiling and is built for the long haul. Nice male pig.
Lot 27 is 37-4. That's a male pig and next intention. Rule 21 main motion. Grandma's the foundation sow. Rule sow's Dez's sister. There was originally 4 of those. There's still 3 of them running around here. So waist out, just kind of checks all the boxes, kind of male pig.
Yeah, just from a pedigree standpoint, next Rule 21, you expect stoutness and look not to be an issue, and I think this male pig again exemplifies the good both of those boars have brought to the table, and again, really high quality barrel. Again, his balance, proportions all fit together. Really like his kind of painted up, cool color. Really nice barrel in this particular pen.
Lot 28 is 43-2. That's a gilt. She's at trenches, provoked, Rule 21. So her grandmother would be another one of them rule main motion sows. That's a young sow. That's only her second litter of pigs. She just had a dang nice summer litter out of backdrop as well. So high quality, green, good looking, sow potential, wild looking gilt.
Yeah, trenches would be the Heimer boar there that I think is done some really good things initially here out of the gate for Heimer and some of their semen customers. And looks like Nate sampled a little bit here and put him in a few of his newer key up and coming sows. And I think if this guild is any indication of that quality, again, Nate probably go back to that well. Again, a really high quality gilt, super immature in terms of her look and her build and her design today. But again, all those indicators read that this one is going to just continue to get better and better and better every day. Again, our structure's good, really high quality gilt.
Okay, lot 29 is 23-5. Another male pig. He was a provoked breaking rules. So that breaking rules sow would be breaking rules Rule 21. No, that's not right. That's a breaking rules, actually a breaking rules dirty south. So she would go back to the same fortune line of them others. The breaking rules sow was Riley Phillips' show gilt her a couple years ago.
Yeah, had a little hand with that show guild, and again, I think this particular pig, kind of brings some of her strengths to the table again, and just in terms of look from the side, a hog that's again doesn't have a tight joint in his body, one that's a little more immature than maybe a few of those that we've seen, but again, I think. A male pig that'll go home and feed for extremely well. One that you don't have to be too worried about being screwed up anywhere. Take him home, turn him loose, and feed him for your window, and he'll be there for you at the end.
Lot 30 is 41-6, a gilt. That's a no intro on Fletcher Inman's Tulsa gilt there 2 years ago. That would by far and away be the breeding gilt piece of the litter.
Yeah, again, I think it sounds like a broken record, but what a really high quality guild, and as Nate said, one that has some real value. Again, on the pedigree side, the mother again entrenched in Nate sows all the way through that particular pedigree, and then we get this guild out here, just her type and her kind. You talk about one that's striking from the side, really attractive from her blade forward, really feminine in terms of her look and her design and her build. Again, probably isn't the fluffiest in terms of her maturity today, but in a breeding gilt setting, again, I think one that you can go out and have fun every weekend with, and then you get done at the end of the day. That one would have some tremendous value in the sow lot.
Lot 31 is 53-1, a barrow. He is a Godfather. Godfather, Dirty South, Skycam Fortune. That would be the Fortune sow goes back to the same thing. I had 3 of them 22-liter Dirty South sows that have all done a heck of a good job over the last couple of years.
Yeah, trio of smaller male pigs here that, again, I think have a really, really wide feeding window, depending on, I think these guys could definitely feed into, Labor Day and beyond if that's what you're looking for. I know it's still March, but the maturity and kind of the design of this pig, again, I think his moderation, his stoutness of feature, again, would tell you that you take him slow and nice and easy. I think that guy can stretch and go a long, long way. Super sound, super functional, just a really, really high quality barrel here.
Lot 32 is 48-5, another barrow. He's another Godfather. So he's a Godfather, Dirty Secret Fortune, and that's one I'm really, really happy with for just a little guy.
Yeah, we have seen some of those, and obviously that Godfather sired litter. I think this little dude, again, you talk about one that's green as a gourd, but when you look at his indicators in terms of stoutness of feature, his length of body, his look, his design, his flexibility, again, not to sound like a broken record, but this guy has a very, very bright future. And another one in 30 days from Saturday, you'll be really, really happy with what you took home if you're lucky enough to be the final bidder on him.
And then lot 33 is 48-1, another littermate barrow, Godfather, Dirty Secret Fortune. That's kind of just a dang good pair.
Yeah, cookie cutter. Obviously, the white front-legged barrows maybe a few pounds ahead of his brother, but in terms of look, design, build, just really, really similar in type and kind. And again, you'd be happy with either one of those.
Lot 34 is another 48 barrow, 48-8, Godfather, Dirty Secret Fortune.
Yeah, and just like those last two, again, nothing, no frills here. Again, what you're seeing is what you get. Really, really high quality litter here. Again, all the indicators on those pigs are extremely good. For as small as they are to be that stout featured, but yet that good looking and flexible. Great trio that we've seen so far out of that litter.
Lot 35 is a different litter. There's a 37-2. It's a Crip. He is a Next Intention, Rule 21, main motion. So we've talked about a brother there earlier, and this one I think he gets overlooked a little bit just because he's a little greener going away and not as much shape today, but his legs are big.
Yeah, his as we talked about that 37 litter. If you just go through the pedigrees, if that litter doesn't scream stoutness to you, nothing will. And then when we get those pigs out here, they obviously bring that to the table. So again, you look at this guy's foot size and just his stoutness of feature in terms of his bone work, his skull, his tail root. Right proportions in terms of his length of body. As Nate mentioned, he's a little greener in terms of his muscle shape today, but everything else is there. I can promise you that.
So lot 36 is 32-1, another boar pig, saved by grace, another 32. And in my opinion, that's probably the oh, wait a second.
Two.
Skip 36, boys. Where's 36, boys? You brought your own pigs out, boys. Hey, there's 5 in that litters. Lot 37 is 32-3, a gilt. There's a pair of these gilts here in this pen. The 32 gilts, like we offered one earlier, and kind of out of that litter of them, probably obviously a couple of our favorite bears are in that litter. So I mean, like we said before, saved, instigate, fortune. Grandmother shares the same grandmother as the OYE gilt 19.
Yeah, again, back to the sale order comment, but I know Nate's main target audience here is obviously to get these male pigs into good homes for the Midwest age state fairs. But there's a pair of gilt litter mate gilts in here, guys. I guess my hog breeder gets me as fired up as anything we've seen here in terms of type and kind and quality. Again, you look at it from a pedigree standpoint. If you want your kids to go out every weekend and be successful and have a chance to garner a banner, and then again, whether that's a state fair or a crossbred show or county fair breeding setting, the black gilt with the white front legs is maybe a little more dual purposey and probably could show maybe more in a market setting, but again, true value in terms of style power down the road for somebody else, whether that's you or for a resale value. These would be really, really top quality and really, really high on my list. Two really, really outstanding gilts.
So the painted up sister there is 32-7. She is also, Saved by Grace, instigate, fortune.
Yeah, she just, again, probably has a little more dual purpose look about her. Man, you get off to the side of that one, and if that doesn't get you excited in terms of her look from the side, her elevation, her look, again, real feminine, again, from a show gilt perspective in a breeding gilt setting. Again, I think one that you get that one to 300 plus pounds, that's when you're going to be like, oh yeah, aha. That one, again, is high quality. Again, talked about this litter in depth, and those two represent and replicate that litter extremely, extremely well. I'd have both of these high on your list.
So lot 36 is 32-1, a male pig, saved, instigate, fortune. We've looked at his brothers there earlier. This is kind of probably the longest neck, prettiest one. Still kind of exemplifies all the right parts and pieces like his counterparts there.
Yeah, if you like them greener and immature, well built. Again, one that's probably not ready to go in a jackpot today, but you give this guy 30 to 45 days at home in the feed bucket. I think you're going to be really, really happy again. You talk about one that's sort of an outlier of some of the ones we've seen in terms of his elevation and look from the side, but still stout in terms of his feature, and really, really high quality pig that, again, I think has a wide feeding window, and high quality dude for sure.
So lot 39 is 41-5, a male pig. He is a no introduction provoked. He'd be the kind of the stoutest made male pig in the litter out of Fletcher Emmons, Tulsa Gilter 2 years ago.
Yeah, as Nate mentioned, just super stout in terms of his features, but again, really square in terms of his, when you get on the top side of his skeleton, still has a tremendous amount of look. One probably could stand the tanning bed a little bit longer. I think you get him home and get him in the sun or in the tanning bed, his skin will darken up, and again, a really, really high quality pig that, again, I would call sort of that no holes, no frills, safe one that would fit lots and lots of different feeding programs.
So lot 40 is 17-6 male pig. That's our first against the grain offered here today. Bort Dane Logan's mother would be a JoJo Visionary Hollywood, and I guess probably the best story about that is that's a gilt litter, and the old Hollywood sow's actually the old Main Motion sow's mother. So.
Yeah, the against the grain thing, we had an opportunity to, one of my homes, feed a litter mate, a barrow to that guy last year, and you talk about a really, really unique kind of a litter of pigs, and against the grain has stamped that in his set that I've had a chance to look at here. Nate's first 2 or 3 sets, he's had pigs in all those 3 sets out of that boar, and I think this guy exemplifies that. Just stout, big-legged, short-backed, big-backed, but still sound, still flexible. Just has a tremendous amount of upside feeding, and I think this lot 40 brings all of those good things to the table. Again, I think one that, boy, if you're serious about winning a big one, he'd be high on my list.
Lot 41 is 43-7. He is a crip. That is a trenches provoked Rule 21. We've talked about that earlier, the Rule 21 Main Motion sows. Wide belted barrows, just got lots of look, lots of leg, built right.
Yeah, we talked about the trenches deal, and Nate sampling that in a little bit, and I'd say left him with a really, really good sellable litter of pigs that, again, super, super high quality. Again, I think this guy, as Nate mentioned, sound, functional, good looking from the side. Again, has all the right readers in terms of his proportions for us here today. And again, one that I think you get home and just turn him loose, and he's going to get out there and do it for you.
Lot 42 is 8-1 male pig. He is actually a Miss Notch. He's a litter mate to the 43, the litter, the lot 41 previous to him. Trenches provoked Rule 21.
Yeah, I think his proportions and build and design, obviously being a little smaller, gives him a little wider feeding window. But, man, you talk about one that's really, really high quality, stouty, right length of body, good looking from the side, really tall shouldered and really extended from his blade forward. Again, this guy has a wide feeding window and a really, really high quality one.
So lot 43 is 46-5. It's a gilt. That is against the grain, keeping the faith. Kiss My Socks 24-8. So the 24-8 sow would be the mother of Maxon's 4th overall in grand lightweight at Columbus there last year, which is the mother of our next pig we're going to try to start breeding sows to here soon. And she's also the mother of the grand at Ross that Kellis has had there in 19 as well.
Yeah, another against the grain, and again, she brings to the table all the.
Hey, Dustin, that is that's a little correction on the sheet. That is a male pig.
Okay.
Not a gilt. That is a castrated male. Obviously not a gilt. Sorry.
Once we got him out here in the center, yeah, we can see that. But again, super high quality guy. Again, like we said, fits that against the grain type and kind in terms of his stoutness of feature, his proportions, length of body, good looking from the side. Again, I think a really good one that, again, if you need something to feed a little longer into the fall, that dude would definitely do that and do it extremely well. One you take home and just kind of go slow and feed him into your window.
Lot 44 is a gilt. It's 47-2, like no other. Gorilla Dirty Secret. We talked about a couple of stout litter mate gilts earlier, and that's another stout one out of the same litter.
Yeah, that little different pedigrees we talked about from Nate's typical Southside pedigrees. And again, if you're looking in a market hog setting for a market gilt, I think this gilt exemplifies that extremely well. Super stout, super shapely in terms of her muscle for where she is in her age here today. Short backed, just a really high quality gilt that again in a market hog setting that would feed again later into the fall. If you're looking for a cross gilt for Eastern Regional, those types of things, I think that gilt would fit that bill extremely well.
Lot 45 is a gilt. She is 15-5. Next intention, JoJo Kiss My Socks. So the grandmother would be a Heimer sow that she had the grand weanling at Fall Classic there, 19 female. We've got 2 litter mates of those sows. They had a sister win a couple of them fall shows around here there the fall before, so it's a first litter deal, but pretty good next gilt. Looks like she needs to eat a little bit though.
Yeah, I guess that was my my thoughts initially. Here was one that's super immature but built extremely well. Good looking from the side. Again, love her striking. Just her color pattern really pops when we get her out here. Again, one that's really built right, and as Nate mentioned, just one you need to take home and put on feed. And gonna get another month, 45 days at home. You'll be real happy with your purchase.
So lot 46 is 30-9. That is an in-game male pig. The 30s are another Instigate sow. It'd be an Instigate up the odd sow. The grandmother wins a class at Columbus there several years ago. Just kind of a young sow. Just had just be her second litter, but really nice all black barrow.
Yeah, a little different pedigree here, and again the instigating up the odd stuff again goes back to some of Nate's best stuff on both sides of that pedigree. And I know Endgame is a boar that maybe doesn't get as much fanfare, but I know has worked really well on Nate's sow herd and has produced quite a few winners over the past couple pig crops for him. And I know he just keeps going back to the well with him, and I think this all black dude sort of exemplifies that in terms of, again, his build, his look, his design. A nice easy feeding kind of a barrel that you can take home and do what you need to do and feed him into the window that you need, and he'll be there when you need him.
second. You got 49. Lot 48 is 23-7. He's another one of the breaking rules. Mother B. Riley Phillips' show gilt there a couple years ago. Big legged, good built.
Yeah, I think he brings that the traits of both provoked and breaking rules to the table in terms of this dude is ultra striking from the side, really, really good looking, well built, good design, kind of a barrel that, again, I think will be a really, really easy feeder, one that's maybe a little bigger in terms of his type and kind, and one that obviously I think you could have a wide window, feed him into July, feed him into August. I think he would fit either one of those windows.
Little lot 49 is 34-4 barrow. He is a no introduction. Believe in me, the mother would be first litter gilt. She'd be the litter mate sister to the Grand Barrett OYE, mate to the boar pig we showed off there, and the several ones that followed him.
Yeah, I think type and kind, maybe a little smaller package, and obviously all black, but you get past those things, and again, I think he opens up for a little wider feeding window later into the summer and early fall. Well built, well designed one. Again, proportions and build are all correct. Love his length of body and look and stoutness of feature. Really nice mate pig to some of those really, really high quality ones.
Lot 47 is 24-6, male pig, no introduction. His mother is actually the mother of the Grand Barrett OYE. We sold the other three littermate bears there an online sale a couple weeks ago that went really, really well and got really good homes. Don't forget she kind of doesn't miss. And I know you overlook his incredible paleness and all black appearance, but he's in the nursery a little bit too long, and that one's pretty damn good.
Yeah, we can again argue the sale order one more time, Nate. But the pedigree, the proven record on the south side, and obviously the no introduction pigs have been very well accepted with lots of major breeders throughout the country. And obviously Nate gave him a great shot here with this particular sow. And again, you get past that pale color, all of his proportions and all of his indicators read that dude is going to be a handful come summertime. Right length of body, really stout in terms of his feature. Again, really extended and tall shouldered. That's a high quality one. And again, get him in the sun, get him in your tanning bed, and go ahead and start mowing down competitors.
Lot 50 is 34-8, a gilt. She's a no intro on the littermate sister to the Grand Barrett OYE this past spring. She's pretty shiny.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Again, you talk about one for just the size and what she is, and you read her stoutness of feature and the bone work that she has working in her there, and just the spread and the amount of muscle that this gilt has for her age and her weight here today. That's a really really high quality gilt. Again, get past that all black color. That one should be high on lots of people's lists, especially those looking for something late summer, early fall.
Lot 51 is 53-2, a gilt. She's a godfather on another one of those Dirty South Skycam fortune sows. She's pretty sharp in her own right. She's probably the smallest pig in the sale, but she's pretty neat.
Yeah, I think she probably has as much look and kind of elevation, but still really short backed and moderate in terms of her length of body. But still has a tremendous amount of look and sound and flexible. Just a really, really neat creature. Again, one could argue maybe Nate's selling that pair at a little smaller, but he's committed to offering his best here at the farm sale, and I think right there's a pair that would tell you that that's exactly what he's doing. And again, if you have a late summer, early fall show, or if you're just looking to add some sow power or buy a couple gilts to show later in the fall and then turn them and cash them in and probably make a few bucks, there's a couple I'd have high on my list.
So 52 is 49-1 gilt. She's a godfather king of the hill. Her mother would actually be a littermate sister to Ollie. So Ollie's the Grand Gilded OYE and Breeding Gilt of the Year in 19.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool and pretty exciting. That one. You talk about all the cool and catchy terms in the show pig business today. If that one doesn't check all of those boxes, I'm not sure. I probably should be sitting up here, but that one is really, really neat, Nate, in terms of just her design, her flexibility, her stoutness of feature, her proportions in terms of her length of body, extension from her blade forward, and just the way her jawline and all that ties in. That's a cool gilt.
So the little bitty black barrow is lot 53. It's 50-2. He is a barrow. He is a next intention barrow. His mother is a provoked. She'd be a provoked Dirty South on Ollie's mom. That actually makes her like a 3/4 sib to the Reserve D1 Gilded OYE this past spring, and it would be a littermate style to the mother of. It'd be a repeat mating to the Justin Days of Tulsa Bear and Kansas City Bear there 2 falls ago that wins a class at each of them, and I think he was 10th or 12th out at Tulsa there.
Yeah, what an intriguing creature. I would argue if that dude had a belt, we probably be talking some boar type features in terms of some of the really neat stuff this guy has, and just again, one that's just for his size and age, stout in terms of his feature and really cool from the side. This guy has a very, very bright future. And again, if you have a late summer, early fall show, I'm not sure you're gonna have to drive a few miles to find one that has some of the pieces that this dude has at this stage of the game. Really neat male pig.
So lot 54 is 17-3 and Against the Grain gilt. She's an Against the Grain JoJo Visionary Hollywood. We talked about the Hollywood sow's kind of the mother of the old main motion sow, the foundation. She'd just be pretty well big-legged like most of the Against the Grains, and just built great.
Yeah, build is what kind of first comes to my mind. Again, super sound, super flexible. Again, not too coarse. All the pieces and proportions all fit together. Again, I think as Nate mentioned, kind of exemplifies that Against the Grain deal, and high quality gill here.
So lot 55 is another littermate gilt, 17-2 Against the Grain, and I will kind of say that, yeah, as of yesterday, she broke out. If it's not a lot better, we'll scratch her, but I think it is still. You can still kind of see a lot of value in that one.
Yeah, she brings that extra stoutness, a feature that maybe the littermate is lacking here today, but still has the same kind of look and design that the littermate has. Just has some extra punch, and again, just that just stout in terms of her feature. And yeah, as Nate said, get past her skin irritation, and Nate will guarantee that one, obviously. And if it ain't much better, maybe you'll have to look him up after the sale and see if he can twist his arm to sell that one.
So lot 56 is 43-1, another Trenches Provoked. That is a gilt. 56 Trenches Provoked, Rule 21.
Yeah, I think we've seen several of those trenches litter mates to this particular gilt, and again, design, flexibility, sound, functionability, just nice, easy feeding kind of a gilt is what comes to mind here with this particular painted up gilt. Again, one that I think has a bright future, and get her bought and get her home, get her on feed, and again, I think you'll be real happy with her.
Lot 57 is 38-2. That is a Chester Barrow. He is a cover boy Hilljack. The Hilljack sow was the Triple Crown winner there several years ago, back in 2016. This is her last litter. She's not here any longer, but she won Expo, Summer Type, and Indy that summer. Just kind of come from Armstrong's. That's our first Chester offering of the day. Pretty darn nice barrow.
Yeah, I'd be remiss to say it's kind of really neat deal to be sitting here on Fairview Road talking about a Chester White. Nate's family has been entrenched in his grandfather and his uncle and his dad, and to be here on that farm and have some Chesters represented here. I know Nate won't say it, but it's got to be a special moment for him and his family, and pretty cool deal to be his buddy here, sitting here talking about a Chester Barrow. And he run a really, really high quality one out here. Really good looking from the side, really stout in terms of his feature. Got a huge forearm, but really extended from his blade forward. Really, really high quality Chester Barrow to be here on Fairview Road today.
Lot 58 is 22-7. That is a male pig, a provoked, never before dirty secret. So the never before sow would be that the same Heimer sow that mother raised the grand heavyweight at Denver there in 19. The reason I own that never before sow is because the videos I'd get from Carl on that barrow there that winter, he was pretty incredible. But be also Neighbor Boy's mom as well as Wags' littermate sister.
Yeah, Nate and I happened to be together when we got to see Wags the first time, I think by flashlight. They're coming out of the sort of nursery grower unit there at Heimer's, and he was an incredible market age sized kind of boar prospect at that time. And again, I think some of the interest, obviously, Nate and I both had with that boar. I think this male pig, represents that line extremely well in terms of his, again, look from the side, really elevated, really extended, sound, functional. Again, a really wide feeding window, July into August for sure. That's again a really, really high quality male pig that. Green enough in terms of his design to go home and do a lot of good things for you.
Lot 59 would be a 41-6 a gilt. That'd be another stout, no introduction out of the provoked sow that was Inman's Tulsa gilt there 2 years ago. We've talked about a couple other times.
Yeah, again, that gilt jumps in just like the litter mates in terms of type and kind, stoutness of feature, really broad backed for where she is in terms of her maturity pattern, but still sound and functional. Again, a wide feeding window type of a gilt that, again, real high quality.
Lot 60 is 35-3, a gilt out of Sure Thing. That's another one of those Sure Thing provoked fortunes. Share the same grandmother as the OYE gilt.
Yeah, Sure Thing being the Stay Classy calico boar there, Keplinger and Gannerone together. I think, again, this gilt looks similar to the mates we've had a chance to look at, and in terms of length of body, kind of proportions and build and design. Again, another really, really high quality gilt that, again, I think need to take home and, probably slow down just a nickel and be real happy with the end game.
Lot 61 is 42-2, a Saba Grace gilt. She would be kind of the greener made blue gilt that she'd be a mate to one of them gilts we were starting up there in the first 4 or 5 pigs in the sale. Mother would be the reserve gilt at our county there a couple years ago, the Pony Up sow.
Yeah, obviously a really striking color pattern, but you get off to this gilt on the side, a gilt that has a tremendous amount of look from the side, elevation and extension and look, sound and functional. Again, really, really high quality gilt.
So lot 62 is 45-5, a barrow. He is a no introduction provoked. He is he's actually a small litter mate to our lot 2 in the sale that makes him the provoked sow was a litter mate to the High Points barrow on the Northwest Oklahoma circuit there the year they canceled COVID like we talked about. So
Yeah, high quality, light cross barrel, and yeah, pounds smaller than his mate, but again, his proportions read correct, his length of body, super stout in terms of his feature. Again, a high quality one that has a very high feeding window, into the fall for sure.
So lot 63 is a gilt 44-1. She is a no intro out of the mother of the OYE gilt from 19.
Yeah, this and again when she first come in here, I thought, boy, that one's really high quality. And when we see that pedigree, there's reason why she's really high quality. Super green in terms of her makeup, but again, her proportions, her look, her build, all kind of fit together. One that again I think get home and get on feed, you'll be really happy with this one as she continues to mature. Really high quality gilt that again I'm pretty high on.
Lot 64 is 40-6-3, a gilt and against the grain. She'd be an against the grain. JoJo, sorry, she's an against the grain. JoJo, Kiss My Socks.
That one is pretty cool. Again, super moderate. Probably fighting her ear tag a little bit for us here today, but you get past that in terms of her proportions. Again, one super stouty for her size, but everything kind of blends and balances. Another really high quality gilt that again I think you're going to be really happy with, and one that'll feed into the fall for sure.
Lot 65 is 47-1, a gilt. That's a like no other. She would be, she actually would be like no other. Gorilla Dirty Secret we talked about before. That was my leadoff pig there 2 springs ago that the Erder family gave me, allowed me the opportunity to get her back.
Yeah, kind of on the flip side of the coin from the previous gilt, one that's a little greener in terms of her makeup, a little more immature, really good looking from the side, tall shouldered, still stout featured, just greener in terms of her makeup. Again, one that go home, turn the feed loose on that one, and you'll like your results down the road.
Lot 66 is 47-4, a barrow. He's another one of the like no others. Gorilla Dirty Secrets out of the leadoff Erder gilt from 2 years ago.
Yeah, man, these male pigs just keep coming, and I think obviously you can see what Nate's trying to produce here and produce in mass quantities. All these hogs, and this guy represents that too. Just ultra stout featured. All the balance and proportions on all these hogs really fit together extremely well, which is hard to do, to make them that stout, but yet this flexible. And again, this guy represents that extremely well. That's that barrel is again should be really popular, and should feed for a very wide window.
Lot 67 is 53-3, a Godfather barrow. So the mother would be the Dirty South 22-3, the Dirty South sow. That's she's a Dirty South Skycam Fortune, and Fortune sow would be the mother of the Grand York Bear at Tulsa this past fall, and the grandmother of the OYE gilt.
Yeah, pedigrees speak for themselves here, and that guy represents that pedigree in terms of his look from the side. Again, I love his length of body from a market hog perspective. Still super ultra stout featured, but you can see going away. Really, really flexible, can use his rear leg, still extended and good enough looking from the side. That's a really, really high quality barrel that, again, will feed into the fall extremely well.
Lot 68 is 38-4 Chester male. It's a cover boy hill jack. Like we said before, the mother would be the Triple Crown winner there in 2016, long ago, but she won Expo, Summer Type, and Indy. So pretty darn nice Chester bear.
Yeah, I think that was, didn't you buy her out of the exchange, Nate?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I was with you when we stopped and gathered her up. But again, I think this male pig again is really top notch in terms of quality. Again, his balance, his proportions from a Chester standpoint, all fit together really well. Again, if any of you've been following Nate's Chester program, it hasn't been real big in numbers, but the quality's been good. I know I believe that was Jamie May's boy that showed at Chester here through the Ohio circuit. That was extremely popular and won a bunch of weekends out. And I think this male pig represents some of those things for sure.
So lot 69 is a littermate gilt. That's a 38-7 Chester gilt, cover boy, hill jack, mother, the Triple Crown winner in 2016.
Yeah, just from a pedigree standpoint and what that represents from a Chester standpoint, there hasn't been many of those win that Triple Crown deal. So again, if you're looking for a Chester gilt that's big in terms of her maturity for her age, really high quality, and one that can go on and obviously show early, show off, and be ultra competitive, and then go on and either garner you some cash if you want to cash her in at the end of the summer, or if you want to put one back in the sow herd that from a pedigree standpoint, be hard to go find one like that.
So lot 70 is 43-5, a gilt out of trenches. So she'd be a trenches provoked Rule 21 main motion.
Yeah, another one of the trenches out of the 43 litter, and again, really high quality gilt. Love that one from the side profile. One of the more striking gilts that we've had a chance to look at, but is still stout enough in terms of her feature. Again, super attractive, good looking, sound, flexible. Again, one take home, put on the feed, and you'll be real pleased with that one.
Lot 71 is 22-3, provoked never before. So that is the never before Heimer sow that this gilt here would be a littermate to 2210. That real stout barrow's up in the front. Be the never before Heimer sow that's out of the mother of the grain heavy at Denver, and she's actually a neighbor boy's mom as well as Wags' littermate sister.
Yeah, really a super line bred, dirty secret line on all the way through that particular pedigree, and Again, we've seen a bunch of them, and this gilt again is fits right in from a quality standpoint. You can see right there. Look from the side, extremely attractive, especially from her shoulder blade forward. Sound, flexible, square going away. Another high quality gilt that again take home, put on feed, and you'll be pleased with that one.
Lot 72 is 36-6. He's a male pig. He is a sure thing. It's Bort Keplinger's. His mother is a Dirty Secret Distinct. She would be, she won her class at Dallas, and I think I raised her, but her grandmother come from Heimers in the first batch of gilts I picked up over there several years ago. Mother wins her class at Dallas for the Bestie family in, I think, 18. And she had a next pig this fall that's one was Grand Hamp 2 or 3 different times there in West Texas.
Yeah, again, that's that male pig is really high quality, super stout, starting at the ground, just ginormous legged, really stout skulled, but again, his balance and his proportions all kind of fit extremely well. I'd argue from a calico standpoint, he's one of the top end individuals we've had to look at here in this particular set. And again, I have to argue with Nate on his tagging and his sale order protocol here.
So lot 73 is 18-9. It's an in-game gilt. The mother would be a provoked Kiss My Socks Fortune. So the Kiss My Socks style was 24-8 that had Maxon's gilt at Columbus there 2 years ago that was 4th out, and Grand Lightweight, and also the Grand at Ross that year had kind of come out a really good Kiss My Socks litter.
Yeah, we talked earlier, Endgame, a boar Nate has used with a tremendous amount of success. And again, from a sow power on the backside of this one's pedigree, again, I think there's a ton of quality. Again, a gilt that's, sound, functional, good looking from the side. Just need to take home, put that on feed.
Lot 74 is 21-4. That's a boar pig sired by Disciple. So that is another 21 out of Barb, the provoked sow we got from Heimer with the big legs. And this male pig might not be for everybody, but he for sure does have the big legs.
Yeah, no, I think when you look at the dude in terms of just his stoutness of feature and but look from the side, he's still very attractive. And to your point, he's probably one that you need to take home and feed relatively slow. But when you look at all the feature that he has, again, there's some really good pieces in that dude.
Lot 75 is 22-1, a gilt, provoked never before. Same 22 litter we've talked about several times. Same never before sow that's goes back to Grand Heavy at Denver and Neighbor Roy's mom.
Yeah, we've talked about those 22s a ton, and obviously you see never before showing up in a lot of places on the south side, and then you couple that with what we talked about with Wags and then Provoked and kind of lining up that dirty secret stuff. This is a really, really, really high quality gilt that, again, exemplifies that litter extremely well. Balance, build, proportions, stoutness of feature, flexibility, good looking. She covers all the bases for you. Another really high quality gilt down here in this 22 litter.
So lot 76 is 17-7, another gilt. She's an against the grain JoJo Visionary Hollywood. Just like we talked about, the old Hollywood sow is the mother of the foundation sow, the main motion sow. She was, and I don't think I ever mentioned, but Hollywood, like 10 years ago, was the grand gilt at the Crossbred Classic at Indy.
Yeah, again, if you're sow shopping and looking to replicate Nate's success, here's a great opportunity. This is a super high quality gilt with an even better pedigree. Again, all the pieces fit together in this gilt. Her balance, her proportions, stoutness of feature. This black-headed gilt is ultra special and has an even more ultra special pedigree. And again, if you want to beat Nate, best time to do that is buy a few gilts from him and get them bred the right way.
Perfect.
Got you off your game with that comment.
I don't have 77 in. I don't have its info. I've got to look it up on my phone because we skipped a pin on the sale order.
I'll talk about him. He's really good looking, striking from the side. That dude is elevated at the point of his shoulder as maybe any of the male pigs we've seen, but still super correct, super stout featured. Again, his length of body is and his proportions and his length of body are correct. That's a really nice male, regardless of what you're going to tell us from a pedigree standpoint.
Okay, sorry, I did not have the pin of 4 there. The next lot's on the sale order. I've got to correct it and edit it here yet this afternoon to get it printed. But so lot 77 is 22-13, male pig, provoked never before, same sow, same never before sow we've talked about several times. So lot 78 is a 30-8 in game. That is a boar pig. He is black, but I don't let that take away from him. His mother's an instigate up the odds. She's very young sow. We have a lot of faith in. No real fancy story. First litter. Her mom wins a class at the High State Fair there a couple years ago. 30-8.
Yeah, we've talked about several of those, and again, Nate knows where to use end game and where he worked on a sow herd, and I have a ton of confidence in those litters out of that boar. Again, has a really good mother, and again, his balanced proportions. Look from the side there, get past that black color. A lot of good in that guy.
So the next one is lot 79, and that is a 15-7. He is a crip. He is a next intention. He's a next intention JoJo. That would be basically he would kind of be the green litter mate to that. I think lot 6 or 9. The really stout there calico pig. We're at the start of the sale. That's by far one of my favorite State Fair bears.
Yeah, I would tell you from a next perspective, this guy's probably maturity pattern is the right kind for those that are for the next that are there at the end. Really green, really immature, but still stout featured proportions in terms of length of body, squareness. That's a really nice barrel that, again, I think from a pedigree standpoint and his maturity standpoint, should feed extremely well.
So lot 80 is 36-1, a gilt out of Sure Thing. She would be a Sure Thing Dirty Secret. The Dirty Secret sow is one we talked about. The best family showed Windsor Class at Dallas in about 18. Dirty Secret distinct.
Yeah, that's a really high quality gild, and from a pedigree standpoint, that gild ought to just do nothing but go home and get stouter and broader and wider and more massive, and that's a good thing because she's built really well. Got a really neat look from the side. Again, a super high quality calico gilt with a really neat pedigree.
So lot 82 is 33-5, a gilt, sired by Believe in Me. She would be Believe in Me provoked on the Grand OIE gilt there in 2019. So like we talked about earlier, this is a littermate gilt to the leadoff barra. Just kind of wound up here down towards the end, basically due to her color pattern, but get them dark and shaggy, and I don't really care if they are all black.
Yeah, that's right. She's got some of those same unique pieces, really, in terms of her stoutness of feature, jawline. Just a really neat kind of high quality gilt. Like Nate said, get past her color. I think her balance, her proportions fit right in with the litter mates for sure.
So lot 83 is 45-6, male pig. No introduction. The no intro barrow there would be, he'd be a litter mate to pig in the, lot number 2. This one's mom's a provoked, like we talked about earlier. She's the litter mate sister to the High Points barrow there, Dark Cross barrow there a couple years ago in the Northwest Oklahoma district.
Yeah, another high quality light cross that ultra moderate. Again, one that I think take home, feed this guy slow, has a very wide window of shows where he would fit. Super stout in terms of his feature. Again, really high quality light cross.
Lot 84 is 45-2, another 45, boar pig, no intro, provoked. Be the same sow as the past with, had a really good litter mate barrow there in Oklahoma.
Yeah, again, I think he fits the rest of the litter in terms of his type and kind, look, proportions, balance. Again, no holes, no frills, kind of a barrel that'll go home and feed and perform extremely well. I think an easy feeding kind of a barrel that again I would look up down the line here.
Lot 85 is 52-7, a Chester barrow. They are little bitty, but man, they are cute. They are big screens on the Alton gilt that the Lee boys here in Ohio showed last summer that we liked really well. We actually usually most of the summer, if the Lee boys didn't win with theirs, we won with ours, and vice versa. And we were kind of either the one my boy Beckett showed there was we were kind of back and forth with this gilt all summer, and Nick offered to send her my way, and so we got a cut. They're young, but we got a couple of them ready for the sale.
Yeah, wow, and they are really cool and really neat. Again, talk about for all the bigger they are, stout in terms of their feature. Again, their proportions read correctly, sound and functional here at this stage of the game. Just a really neat pair of Chester barrows there that I would definitely if you're in the market for one of those, I think both of them are really high quality.
So yes, 85 is 52-7, and then lot 86 is 52-4. Lot 87 is 48-1. That would be a Godfather gilt. She also has another. There's 2 litter mate calicos out here. Had several of the 48 litter barrows there earlier in the sale, and kind of somehow wound up with the better couple gilts here down towards the end. But 87 and 88 is 48-1 and 48-7. Godfather, Dirty Secret, Fortune. Fortune sow would be the mother of the Grand York Barrow at Tulsa and grandmother of the Hawaii gilt.
Yeah, I think from a pedigree standpoint, both of these are really high quality. Again, really immature, green in terms of their makeup, but both read extremely stout in terms of their feature. Really good looking. The 88 gilt there, that Robert has on the stick is, more kind of moderate in terms of her length of body, but a really, really, really high quality pair there that just from a pedigree standpoint and a color and look and immaturity standpoint that I would sure have high on my list that, again, in another 30 or 45 days, you're going to be looking really, really smart if you purchase either or both of them.
Lot 89 is 50-7, a next intention gilt. Her mother would be a 3/4 sib to the Reserve D1 Gilded OYE this spring. She'd also be a full sib to the Page Days Barrow there at Tulsa and Kansas City that had a heck of a good fall there 2 falls ago.
Yeah, another really high quality gilt with action packed and super duper good pedigree, especially on the south side that has performed, went out and did a lot of good things. A lot of Nate's really good sow families back here on the bottom side of that pedigree if you're looking for sow power. But when we get this gilt out here and look at her just from her type and kind, again, for where she is pound-wise, and you look at that gilt's kind of foot size and just her density in terms of her bone and her skull and her tail root, the amount of muscle that she does have for just a wee little pig here, her balance, her proportions in terms of her length of body read really, really good. Again, this is a gilt. Probably shame on Nate. He shouldn't be selling yet for his benefit. But if you can look past her size and look at the quality that this gilt brings, this one should be on the gilt list as high as any of them.
So lot 90 would be 27-2, male pig, saved by grace. Mother would be the old hot box fortune sow. She was actually the mother of the Stewart family's calico gilt there a couple years ago. Was reserve grand at Clinton. And that one, I mean, that summer, that was probably my favorite gilt of the summer, I'd say, for pretty easily.
Yeah, when I was here, I don't know, a couple weeks ago and looked through them, Nate had just thrown these out, and I thought, top to bottom, that litter, especially knowing that hot box sow, and again, kind of the imprint she's left on Nate's herd here was really impressed with that litter. Again, I think this dude, in terms of, again, his length of body and his proportions, his look from the side, sound, flexible, good looking. Again, I think this dude also has a really big feeding window from July, into early fall for sure.
So lot 91 is 30-1, male pig. He's an in-game instigate. To me, just kind of like that's the big-legged green one, just the right kind of in-game to feed. Kept a couple keeper gilts, sold a couple last online sale. That's just kind of the good green build in-game.
Yeah, as we've talked again, Nate's understands where end game fits on a sow herd, and when he says what he just said, I immediately go to my pen and paper and write that one down. And sitting here ringside, all the things that he talked about in terms of one being super loose in terms of his build and don't have a tight joint in his body, but still a stout featured, good looking. All of his indicators read that dude will get massive as he matures. Again, a really, really high quality end game bear there.
And I don't think we really ever talked about it, but the one thing to me I think about in game is I think we've got about 25 keeper gilts from the summer out here in a couple of pens on the Cargill, and there's 25 of them, 20 of them are in games. So I mean, they'll definitely work. So lot 92 is 30-6, another in-game boar pig. So in-game instigate up the odds, just good built, not messed up, the right kind.
Yeah, kind of rinse and repeat of what we just talked about. This dude's, maybe a little deeper in terms of his rib cage and a little more pliable today. But again, just all the parts and pieces fit together, sound flexible, but indicators read stoutness and one that should mass up and look incredible come July or August.
So then lot 93 is another litter mate. This one's a gilt 30-4. Lot 93, in-game gilt, in-game up the odds, instigate up the odds, sorry.
Yeah, Nate just said 20 to 25 keeper gilts from the summer litter end games. Again, if you're looking to add sow power to your herd, here's one that I would definitely star because not only does she have an action-packed pedigree, but this is a really, really high-quality gilt that not only can you add to your sow pen, but one that your kids can go out and show. Again, she's probably a little more show ready here today, comparable to the brothers. A little more, kind of robust in terms of her rib cage, and really, really high quality gilt for sure.
'94 is 20-7, male pig, next intention. Mother would be a cracker sit tight on leaps and bounds' mother. The sit tight sow, so their grandmother won the State Fair of Texas there in 2018. Or she was the grand purebred. Grandmother is a purebred Yorkshire, so she was the grand pure at Dallas there a few years back.
Yeah, I know Nate sold a few of these in his online sale, and I was here and seen them, and super, super high quality. Obviously, don't have a ton of color, but if you're the type that like to feed hard and get after one quick and feed them pretty hard, I think this male pig is one that would take that kind of a feeding approach. Sound, loose, functional, good looking from the side. Just need to get him home and turn the feed bucket loose.
Lot 95 is 20-3, a next intention gilt. So she's also a next cracker, sit tight, leaps and bounds' mother. So, and the grandmother's the grand pure at Dallas there a few years back.
Yeah. Another one, just from a pedigree standpoint and sow power and I know, in those Southwest markets, if you can come up with those white ones that class York, they're typically pretty valuable. And so I think this gilt, again, from a show perspective, is ready to show early and often in terms of her maturity pattern. But when you talk about that pedigree on the bottom side, this is, again, another gilt that you could show and turn. And I would say get your investment back, or if you're looking for sows to add to your sow herd to make high quality, deep, consistent, and probably even with numbers litters, this would be one I would star.
Lot 96 is 26-3, a no introduction male. He would be a no introduction. Hang on a second. Yes, no introduction, keeping the faith 24-8. So be a first litter sow, and the Kiss My Socks 24-8 would be the mother of Maxon's Guild at Columbus 19, and Grand at Ross. I don't know, 24-8 sows. She was probably she was actually in my best litter, I think, in 18. I think at Kiss My Socks litter, I think every pig won a show, but her, the one I kept. So Grandma's got a lot of good.
Yeah, we run this pair out here, and again, we can make the argument we need to move those up with a little lower number in terms of their ear tag from a quality perspective. But this guy is again really high quality, striking from the side, really sound, really functional, but still immature in terms of his build and his makeup. And one, again, I think you can take home and kind of manage him and feed him. He looks like he would feed. You could get after him if you needed to, and push him to a July event, or if you need to go slow, he looks like he could sure take that too. That's a really good one.
Lot 97 is 19-6, a male pig, really big legged against the grain, kind of like all of them. Just pretty darn nice.
Yeah, that one is the of this pair, just ultra moderate, ultra massive. When this dude goes away, he's super square and wide on both ends of his skeleton, really massive on the top end of his skeleton. His length of body, his proportions just scream a market hog for sure. That's both a really nice pair of barrows here.
Lot 98 is 29-3. That is a male pig, a next intention male. So he's a next Dirty South, another one of them Dirty South Skycam Fortune sows. That one's 22-6. So she, it says share the same grandmother as the Grand Gilded OYE, and the Fortune sow would be the mother of the Grand New York Barrett Tulsa this fall.
Yeah, as we talked earlier, again, a real mature next pig that again, typically that's the right kind. for this stage of the game. Again, his balance, his proportions. Yes, he's green and immature, but all his other indicators read that that stuff will come. And obviously, from a pedigree standpoint, we feel pretty confident in that. Another really, really high quality male.
Lot 99 is 17-6 Boar Pig. He is an against the grain. Another one of those against the grain JoJo Visionary Hollywoods.
Yeah, extra stout, extra moderate, like all those against the grain we've seen. Again, one that to me reads one we'll probably need to tap the brakes on and go just a nickel slower with him in terms of his maturity pattern. But again, really, really wide window of feedability for him because you can go slow. Nice pair here.
Lot 100 is 42-4, saved by Grace Gilt. So she would be a saved on that pony up sow that was reserved gilt at our county there a few years ago. And she did have that pony up sow had our pair of leadoff barrows there. Holy Smoke this fall in her first litter. And one of them's been grand a couple times, or grand light cross, and in the top three in that Northwest there, Oklahoma circuit.
Yeah, nice, nice gilt here. Again, balanced proportion, good looking, but again, a gilt that has some dimension and some kind of muscle shape here for being a pretty small gilt in terms of her age and her size. But again, all the pieces fit together, sound, functional, really nice gilt.
Lot 101 is 32-5, saved by Grace Gilt. That'd be the last 32 we're selling in the sale, so she'd be the mate to all those bears there at the top end that we think that we've got a whole bunch of faith in.
Yeah, she's the kind of greener, skinnier one here today, and a little more immature. But man, she's still got that stoutness of feature and those gigantic legs like her mate brothers do. Again, one that you just need to take home and turn loose on the feed bucket. And as we've talked, 30 to 45 days, you'll start to get that maturity and look that some of those mate brothers have, and as from a pedigree standpoint, be hard to replicate.
What do you got? Okay. Lot 102 is here's something you don't see every day. This is 41-0. Yes, we do occasionally miss an air notch. So 40-410 is a no intro gilt. Would be mother would be the provoked sow that would be Inman's Tulsa gilt there a couple years ago. Provoked Rule 21.
Yeah, we've talked quite a bit about those, that pedigree and some of those mates. And again, this all black gilt, high quality. Again, probably a little bit behind her mates in terms of her maturity pattern, but all the pieces and parts fit fit for where she is in terms of size wise. Again, depending on what your show calendar looks like, late summer, early fall, that one should feed extremely well.
Lot 103 is 37-2. That is a next intention gilt. Should be a next Rule 21 main motion, kind of like we've talked about. We've said that a lot today.
Yeah, that one's really, really good too. Super stout, really hairy, really, really good looking from the side. Balance, proportions, stoutness. Again, that's one that I would definitely look up on sale day. Again, if you can look past her immaturity, and she's a little skinnier today, but again, everything fits, and that gilt from a pedigree standpoint should be the kind that should feed extremely well.
So 104, lot 104 is 34-1 and no intro gilt. So she would be, I'm not quite sure how she wound up 104, but she's a no intro, believe in me. Littermate sisters, her mother's Littermate sister to the Grand Bird OAE.
Yeah, again, high quality gilts down here towards the end, and that one's as soft and pliable and robust about her cage as really any we've had a chance to look at, Nate, and still good looking, still super stout. Again, that's a high quality gilt. Again, put a belt on her, put some white splashed on her, and we've moved that one up quite a few spots.
Lot 105 is 27-2, Saved by Grace gilt. So that is saved, like we just talked about, saved out of the old Hotbox sow. Hotbox Fortune, Hotbox sow had my favorite gilt of the summer there in 19 that was reserved at Clinton County, and that didn't really allow her to go on to where I was hoping she'd go to the Ohio State Fair.
Yeah, that was an awfully nice gilt that the Stewart girls, I believe, showed that year, and anybody in the state kind of knew when they showed up that one was awfully nice for sure. And again, from a pedigree standpoint, this gilt obviously has a ton of value. Again, all Nate's good stuff from a Sow family perspective is in the bottom side of this gilt's pedigree. And then when you look at this gilt out here, again, really good looking from the side, really tall fronted, good looking, all of her, again, things fit together, proportions are good, really high quality pair here.
Lot 106 is 27-6, Male Pig, another one of those saves on the Hotbox Fortune sow.
Yeah, real green, immature one. Again, good looking from the side, and as I know Nate pretty well. I know him and Steph pride themselves on making sure there's something here for every kid, and I think there's a pig right there that'll probably get overlooked by some. But again, if you're in the market for a green built one that's all the parts and pieces fit, there's one to look up on sale day.
Lot 107 is 30-3, an in-game gilt, like we talked before, in-game instigate up the odds.
Yeah, another green immature one, pedigree-wise, all Nate's good stuff there. Again, one that probably isn't as fluffy here today and won't be on Saturday, But again, all the parts and pieces fit. Again, one that if you're looking for a project and or maybe even a prospect for your sow lot, that'd be one I'd look up.
So lot 108 is 41-3. It's a no intro gilt. Should be another one of them no intros out of the provoked rural sow that was Inman's Tulsa gilt there a couple years ago.
Yeah, one that's really, really robust and a little more kind of mature in terms of her muscle shape here today. Again, a gilt that looks like if you're into feeding one slow, the amount of muscle that she has, I think would fit your feeding program extremely well, and has obviously a really, really cool pedigree.
Here's the one that these boys here have been waiting on. This is the last one, lot 109, 38-1, and we're in it with a Chester, Cover Boy Chester gilt out of the Triple Crown winner there in 2016. She wins Mom's a Hilljack sow from Armstrong's. We bought at the exchange for way too much money. She wins Expo Indianapolis and Summer Conference that year. So.
Yeah, I think pretty fitting, right? That we're here at the site of Ray Warner Chester's, and with the Chester. Again, pretty cool to see Nate and Steph and the family back on the home farm here in the Chester business, and obviously a really high quality Chester gilt to round out the sale setting. So, Nate, thanks for having me over. It's been fun.